Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because we're going to talk about bureaucrats and shenanigans right now. But I am in Las Vegas, and this is not for business. It's for my friend's birthday. So they invited me out, and I thought I would get out here and celebrate. Look, I even have a shirt that's got planes on it because I hopped on a plane. So anyways, lot to cover. Like, subscribe, comment in the video, and let's get right into it. I am sick of bureaucrats. I am sick of people that pontificate and talk and do nothing of value. And the latest thing is Starliner, which is Boeing's plane or their spacecraft that went up to the space station. And there are two astronauts, let's call them that, passengers, victims, Butch and Suni, that were supposed to be up there a week, 8 days, total trip. They've been up there 80 days now, guys, 80. Now, here's the thing. The spacecraft, the Boeing spacecraft that is not working, that's completely broken, and if they hopped on it, they would die. It's leaking helium, it's leaking fuel, and it would definitely explode on the way, back into our atmosphere. But hey, listen, don't worry about that. Bill runs one of the NASA administrators. Hey, listen, we want you to know Starliner is going to fly again. We're looking forward to this. You're going to see this flag, and who cares about this? I want to know if you know the names of the two astronauts, Butch and Suni. Okay, these two people that are stuck in space that I don't think they're going to make it back. That's my prediction, my worry about this, because this should be job one. They just announced, NASA did, that they're going to step back, and who's to the rescue? Elon Musk. Elon Musk to the rescue to go get these people out of the space station. Okay, but here's the problem. Can't do it Thursday, can't do it a week from now. You know what? We'll do it next month in September. No, we're going to do it in February. So these people are stuck there till February. Now, do you have enough food in the space station to last until February? My friends and I were talking about this. Remember when we were kids and, the Apollo missions went up and you had things like Tang. Tang came, they went into space with Tang, and the stuff that they sold us, it was great marketing. Remember that? And then what about space food? Those little sticks, little tubes of it was like soft Tootsie Rolls with different flavors, but the spacemen and the astronauts ate this. Oh my gosh, your mom would pack those into your lunches. Is that what they're living on? Who knows what they're living on? But these poor people are stuck there, okay, until February. That's 6 months from now. They've been up there 80 days. Who knew that this, that they would be up there this long? What do you think about this? Do you think that this is okay? And once again, shh, be quiet. Let me tell you, this is a great space program. It's going to be amazing, and we're going to do good things with it. Who would trust this? Now, I mean this. I have had now probably 5 or 6 Boeing people. You have no idea. I retired from him. It's the greatest company in the world. You go get him, okay? Jeffrey, David, go get him. You go get them yourself. Call your buddies at Boeing. So your pension that you're sucking off of right now, these people are going to die up there. That's what's terrible. Now, hey, whoa. Nobody said anything about anybody dying up there, Dan. You're overreacting, okay? This is ridiculous right now. It's absolutely ridiculous, and you have to look at this for what it is. It's an absolute travesty. But Bill Nelson steps forward and says, hey, we're going to fly again. So Elon Musk to the rescue. Okay, read the articles below because they're great. They're fantastic. And I don't know. The one thing that's really not clear with anything is how are they eating? What's the food situation like? Okay? Do they plan on somebody being up there for a year, 2 years, 5 years? And I know you're going to say people have lived in the space station now for a very long time. Do they restock it when they go up there every time? What is the game plan for this? So let me know what you think about this. And again, am I just overreacting and I'm being, insensitive? I also want to thank you guys. Lately with the videos of the repossession, the savings and loan debacle, everything that we've talked about in the last few videos, people have written great letters. Oh my gosh. Debt collection in the 80s and the 90s, what they would do to people was horrific. It was absolutely terrible. I should do a video on the stuff you guys have written me, because it is wild. You know, debt collection, and they, you know, telling telling your landlord, hey, you know, Dan's not making his car payment. I think he's kind of a deadbeat, and we're concerned about this guy. What do you think? Well, we're about to renew his lease, or should I say not renew his lease? You know, people just did horrific things. People wrote me letters about people in the South that foreclosed on homes, and you had, you know, you had these savings and loans that went out of business where they would do aluminum siding on people's houses, and these people were oil workers that could not read and write, but hey, you need new siding on your house. And they would literally sign the documents with an X and had no idea about payments and you know, annual percentage rates and things like that. And these people were stuck with loans they could not afford. Some lost their houses, but the banks went after these people, and it was horrible. So let me know what you think about this. But again, the bureaucracy of our lives right now is completely, it's disgusting right now. And nobody gets called out on anything. NASA, go get them. NASA, you guys are the space fools that we've spent hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars on this stuff. Go get them. Go get them today. Their families, your family, Suni's and Butch's family, should be freaking out right now and should be screaming in front of, you know, news cameras every day. But no. 6 months. See you later. Imagine being locked in a room. You know, you go on a vacation and you can't leave the hotel room now. You got to stay here for 6 months. Imagine that. Imagine being in a tiny confined area for 6 months. It's terrible. Now, to continue with the theme of bureaucratic nonsense. Did you watch the Democratic National Convention? Oh, what a joyous occasion that was. Couple things I'd like to cover with you is that just the 3 days alone, I don't have the crime stats for the fourth day, but I'm sure they were stellar. Think about this. You had 22 people shot in Chicago while that convention was going on. Oh my gosh, really, Dan? I didn't know that. Yeah, and you had 3 people killed during that time too. Oh, that's horrible, Dan. That is horrible. Chicago is a poorly run city and municipality, but hey, don't talk about that. Let's talk about the children for a second. How about this? Schools, entire schools where not one child is at reading and math levels for their grade level, but let's push them through, okay? There is a school district where they've gotten billions of dollars in this area, billions of dollars to educate people, and nobody's held accountable for this. The kids are just lost right now. Isn't that horrific? Okay, there's a school that has less students, and by the way, enrollment is down because not all the kids are going to school, but enrollment is down and not one kid is proficient in this. You have less than 20% of the kids in the entire Illinois school districts that are proficient in reading and writing, okay, and mathematics, okay. At one place called Douglas Academy, you have 5 students for every 1 teacher, which is great. It's like, oh my gosh, not one student is at grade level. Isn't that horrible? Who's responsible for that? Who gets called? Shh, Dan, you don't understand. We need to give these kids a break. And do what? Be criminals? Just fast track them to, okay, here's your guns and here's how to steal a car. You know what I mean? It's insane, guys. It's insane. Accountability. The average Chicago public school is 19 to 1. 19 students for every 1 teacher, which is still nuts, okay? Douglas Academy, they get from federal funding and state funding, they get $68,000 a student. The average student in Chicago gets $18,000 a year. But again, failing to produce kids that are not doing well. I mean, does anybody go to school? Is it just athletes that get through the system? This is awful. But again, who's responsible? Do you go to the teachers And every time I talk to a teacher, they talk about how awful it is. I know more teachers leaving teaching than are going, man, I want to be a teacher, I want to go into it. It's a tough profession right now. But let me know what you think about this, because it's awful right now and it's completely out of control. Chairman Powell on Friday said, listen, the time has come to adjust interest rates. Isn't that great, guys? Time has come, okay? Please understand this. If you add this up to everything, I have realtors that are writing me. Don't call me a realtor, Dan. I'm a real estate agent. I can't be called a realtor because I don't want to be lumped into the NAR settlement. Okay, whatever. Real estate agents that are writing me telling me that this is going to be the thing that's going to make this industry explode. It's not. It is not. You're seeing houses stall. You're seeing areas that were once hot that are completely broken. People cannot afford the insurance. I have people that write me things, you can't talk about this, Dan. Don't tell anybody this, but as far as their name and things like that. You're seeing homeowners insurance go through the roof right now. As a first-time home buyer, what are you gonna do? Seriously, you're gonna sit there and how do you budget for a home? You don't get to budget for a home, because when you go out and you purchase a house, you've got X amount of dollars to spend on your principal, interest, property taxes, and insurance. The problem with it is so many cities are getting the property taxes raised through the roof. The insurance is through the roof. You cannot control this. You're going to have so many people lose their homes in Florida. You haven't seen anything yet. It's going to be awful right now. Going to be absolutely awful. And I'm going to end this video with when I get to it, with a wild story. But you haven't seen anything yet, guys. And all of a sudden, as far as the bubble factors and where there's problems, you know, found a great article about the housing market and where they think things are going to be in 2025. And it's not rosy. You're not going to see double-digit gains or anything like that. And once again, if you could talk somebody out of buying a house, you may have saved a marriage. You may have saved somebody's health. You may have saved serious problems right now, because I just think you need to wait. I think you need to wait. And I have a friend of mine who's a real estate wholesaler that said, I may never buy another house again under the conditions that they're in right now. So let me know what you guys think about this stuff so far. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. And the first one is, there was a great report done by JP Morgan Chase, okay, the world's largest bank. 472,000 of their clients admitted, and they have the stats, they know what you have in your account, they know what you have in a credit. 472,000 people cannot afford a $400 flash crisis. What's a flash crisis? Oh my gosh, I have a tooth that needs to be pulled. The brakes went out of my car. Whatever, okay? 472,000 people cannot afford that. We've talked about this before, but I am telling you guys, we can talk about getting out of debt, and I've given a lot of people advice. I don't care how in debt you are, you need to have an emergency fund. You need to have a way of socking money aside, even with debt right now, so that if something bad happens, you can protect yourself. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely. Final story, and I could expand on that later on in the week. Final story is a man in New York City found this great story somebody sent me about how Ishan Azbaikara, this guy lives with 23 other people. 24 people in the same house. Hello, 24 people. Now, is this the shape of things to come? Is this the commune living? But the guy spends over $2,000 a month in rent to live with all these other people. That is insane, guys. What about privacy? Oh, I like the vibe of New York. I like, living in Brooklyn. Pass, okay? 23 other people? Had a long day. I don't want to talk to any of you guys. Do you know what I mean? No, but this is what you're going to see. You're going to see more families move in together as this thing melts down. You can sit there and say, oh, you're crazy. You've been talking about this for years. You should have been getting ready for the last 2 years. Don't ever forget that. Store food, store water, get ready, have cash on hand for that flash crisis. you will feel so much better. You know, I've had friends say, oh my gosh, I saved $2,000 and thank God I had it, Dan, because of X. Okay? Daughter needed to go on a cheerleading trip. I had this, I had that, all these different things. Car broke down, everything. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Aren't you sick of the bureaucratic nonsense though? Correct me if I'm wrong, if it's just Dan. But let me know what you guys are thinking about all this stuff, okay? I'll see you soon.